This section explores how Who Is There engages its audience and how it would be distributed as a real media text within the contemporary film industry. I will analyze how engagement is constructed through film language, narrative structure, and representation before exploring how independent industry models determine its distribution and promotional strategy. Air is designed to engage audiences through three primary emotional responses: fear, anxiety, and curiosity. From the opening moments, silence creates immediate discomfort, where the non diegetic eerie sound fades in over the A24 style ident. It signals that something is wrong before any narrative action occurs. The film deliberately builds anticipation through controlled sound design. The use of restricted narration and limited visual information further increases curiosity. The audience is not given clear explanations and must instead question what they're seeing and hearing. This positions viewers as active participants, encouraging interpretation and analysis rather than passive consumption. The target audience is viewers aged 16 and above who prefer independent supernatural horror over mainstream spectacle-driven cinema. Who Is There appeals to audiences who value atmosphere, ambiguity, and slow burn tension. This audience is more likely to consume films via streaming platforms rather than traditional communal cinema experiences. The film's emphasis on subtle sound design and personal immersion makes it particularly suited to individuals viewing through headphones or home streaming environments, where psychological tension can be more intensely experienced. In graphic terms, the film targets audiences who value discovery and originality. These viewers are attracted to independent genre cinema and prefer tension-led storytelling. They are likely to appreciate films that challenge mainstream horror conventions and instead prioritize mood, interpretation, and symbolic meaning. By constructing an ambiguous narrative and avoiding over-explanation, Who Is There appeals to audiences who enjoy analyzing sequences, discussing theories, and engaging critically with media rather than simply seeking surface level entertainment. Engagement is reinforced through three major techniques: enigma, restricted viewing, and sound led tension. Bart's enigma code is established most clearly through the use of the CCTV footage. When the audience sees Sophia from a surveillance perspective, it immediately suggests that she is being watched, yet the watcher is never revealed. This creates immediate uncertainty and raises key questions. Who is behind the camera? Is this a human presence or something supernatural? Restricted viewing is particularly evident in the tracking shot of Sophia walking down the hallway. The low-key lighting limits what the audience can see beyond her immediate surroundings, leaving sections of the corridor in shadow. Although the camera follows her movement, the darkness prevents full visual access to the space, creating uncertainty about what may exist outside the frame. This restricted visibility increases tension as the audience is aware that something could emerge from the unseen areas at any moment. Additionally, the gradual increase in non-diegetic sound builds tension structurally. Instead of immediate shock, the film escalates anxiety, making the final jump scare more impactful because it releases carefully constructed suspense. Engages audiences through its representation of the protagonist. Although Sophia is positioned within a vulnerable situation, she is not presented as passive. She investigates, moves through the space, and confronts uncertainty. This challenges established horror conventions that often construct female characters primarily as helpless figures whose role is to react rather than act. Instead, the film presents a more realistic and controlled portrayal of fear. This aligns with Stuart Hall's theory of representation as the character resists simplified stereotypes. This portrayal of a vulnerable yet active female protagonist appeals to contemporary audiences who increasingly expect complexity and agency within genre narratives. By presenting Sophia as vulnerable yet active, the film reflects changing audience expectations within horror, where viewers seek more realistic and psychologically layered characters. History perspective, Who Is There positions itself clearly as an independent supernatural horror film. Its limited locations, minimal cast, and emphasis on atmosphere reflect independent production values. According to David Hasmondog, Media industries attempt to minimize risk through genre familiarity and targeted audience segmentation. This film targets a specific niche audience who actively seek independent psychological horror. By aligning itself stylistically with the A24 model, the film signals artistic ambition and distinctiveness. Real media product, the film would follow a realistic independent distribution pathway. The first stage will involve screening at independent film festivals. Festivals generate recognition, critical reviews, and cultural credibility without requiring large marketing budgets. Following festival exposure, the film would move to streaming platforms. Streaming allows global reach and connects directly with the 16 plus target audience, who are more likely to discover independent horror digitally. This staggered distribution strategy reflects independent industry practice and supports sustainable audience growth. For Who Is There would rely on contemporary digital strategies. Short teaser clips highlighting the CCTV perspective, the I am here note, and the shift from silence to sound would be shared across social media platforms. These moments are designed to be visually striking and easily shareable. This reflects Clay Shrinky's idea of the active audience, where viewers circulate and discuss content online. Influencers and horror reviewers would act as opinion leaders, aligning with two-step flow theory, as their reactions help shape wider audience interest. Independent horror marketing depends on shareability, community discussion, and targeted digital promotion rather than star power or blockbuster campaigns. Who Is There engages audiences through psychological tension, restricted narration, enigma, and soundless suspense. It constructs a niche audience of independent horror viewers who value ambiguity, realism, and interpretation. Its distribution strategy reflects contemporary, independent industry practices, beginning with festivals, expanding through streaming platforms, and relying on digital marketing and audience participation. By combining precise audience targeting with realistic industry awareness, the film operates credibly as a real media text.